One of the most basic things you need to do in order to do Greek word studies is to discover the semantic range, the range of meaning that a word has. And if you use accordance, there's a multiplicity of ways you can do it. Let me show you some of my favorite. Let's say you want to look up the word ekbalo. We're in Matthew 7:4. Or how dare you say to your brother, let me remove. Okay, what does he mean by remove? Well, one way is, depending upon how you have your computer set up, I just right click and it brings up the menu. And I can say on the Greek word, search for the lexeme. That means I'm not going to care what person, number, tense it is. I just want to see every occurrence of ekbalo in the New Testament. And so when you search, here they all are. And as you do your mouse overs, you can see the English translation. Okay, that's one way to do it. If you go up to analytics now and go to word count totals analysis, this is my favorite analytics they have, then here's all the different inflected forms and how many times they occur. Now, if yours doesn't look like this, I'm going to pull it over here just a bit, then go into customize display and make sure that in the column you have the lexical form and the inflected. You'll take it and drag it over. And then I just set it as a default, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Use it as a default, and that way this is how it's always going to come up. So you can see how it's used. Now here's the other interesting thing though. If instead of right-clicking here, you right-click on the English, and it has to be an English version that has Strong's numbers, so I'm using my translation. If you right-click on that and say search for key number, what you're telling Accordance to do is to go behind the English, find the Greek word, and show every verse with that Greek word. But in this case, it's going to show it in English. Now, if you want to see what the Greek is as well, you can pull it up and you can see it. Here is where that ekbalo occurs in all the different places, regardless of how it's translated. Well, as you look at these, you start to get a feeling for the semantic range of the word. But here's what's really cool now. If you go to analytics, go to analysis, you'll notice that you get a second analysis window, and it's showing you somewhat the same information, but you'll notice it's giving you the English translation. Well, I'm going to go in here now and sort by key number. And here's your semantic range. Ekbalo can mean away. It's probably in connection with another word. Brings, cast, casting, cast, drive. And you get a really good feeling for the semantic range of the word. Another way, of course, you can do is to go back to the Greek, and depending upon how you have your computer set up, if you triple click on ekbalo, you're going to bring up your dictionary. I've defaulted to have BDAG come up as number one. And you can see the semantic range of the word according to BDAG. And if you have my expository dictionary, what you can also do is switch over to it and get rid of the reference here and redo your search for ekbalo. And in this case, it's going to bring out a very, very short definition, but if it's got an underline, see something, this is a reference to the main part of my dictionary. Now you're going to get a bigger definition, a longer definition of ekbalo. Of course, these things will all differ depending upon the word that you're using. I'm sure there's many other ways to do word studies, but those are some of my favorites.